I'm Dave. That's Kenny, Jason, Gordy, Joe, and Mike. What's up,
Yo,
What's going
everybody?
on?
Hey, what's up?
What up?
New episode. We have all these dudes in here. It's a sausage party. We're going to talk about the Eagles. We're going to preview the season. But first, let's crack that shit. All day IPAs. Instead, cheers, boys. Cheers. So yeah, we're gonna run it down. We're gonna talk about the season. Kenny's doing his homework right now because Kenny doesn't believe in homework. He's like one of those newfangled teachers. They don't give out homework.
C's get degrees, baby.
Let's go.
I was talking to Brianna about this, and she's like, "Yeah, the homework is like not really, it's like barely a thing anymore." I'm like, "What the fuck?" I used to come home, and I had shit in every class. I'm not even that old.
Your fucking neck be crinked on the bus. You know what I mean? You're like, it's a shit.
I need a new book bag in the middle of the year because that shit was ripping. Although that until I got the JanSport.
Yo,
JanSport,
lasts forever.
that shit you don't ever need another book
JanSports are
bag.
bust.
Yeah, that's right. You don't ever need another book bag. So first things first, Kenny
First things what?
said that he was gonna.
Bro, I sent you an article. A dude just fucking died. I'm not eating the fucking chip. It's not fucking happening. You're muted.
Now-
You're muted, fucking troll.
This is how you're gonna cop out.
He died.
After-
I'm not willing to die.
Do you
I'm
understand?
not willing to die for 70 fucking listeners.
You know, if you were listening in college, correlation does not equal causation, bro. It's not. It wasn't
Yeah.
the chip. Eat the fucking
Maybe
Do
you
chip.
have done your homework.
Do you think with my elementary degree I even had that class? I had finger
I don't
painting,
think you were doing
fucking
anything but drinking
spot the
beer
color.
and, you know.
sucking puss. What up?
Oh,
I wasn't gonna say it.
Kenny says anything on this podcast. It's actually wild.
I don't give a fuck.
Drinking beer and going to the movies.
Going to the movies.
I can- Pull Pee Wee Herman.
Yeah.
Oh my god, baking, as they say these days. I think that's a thing.
Crazy kid.
But anyway, also like Riz, and there's a lot of newfangled shit out there. You gotta keep up with it. You know, you got the Ick, you got the Riz. Move on. Let's move on. Let's get into the first thing because we all are gonna go through this and we're all gonna our seconds to talk about it. Let's first. So I'm gonna go last. I want to go last because I'd like to hear everybody's hot take first before me, and I'm just gonna go in the order of
Real
who I see
convenient.
on my screen. Do you want to go first?
Absolutely fucking not.
By the way, fuck you for acting like you know kid now.
All I fucking simply said was that pregnancies are 10 months. Everyone doesn't know that, okay? I didn't know that. I said, shit, how long you been pregnant? 10 months. I said, I thought it was 9. No, it's fucking 10.
You're right.
By
It
the
is
time your
fine.
little fucking spermie gets in there, 4 weeks, you don't even know you're pregnant. You can fucking do cocaine and drink alcohol at that point. You wouldn't even affect the baby.
Yeah, both of mine were 9.
let's
They both
not
month
let's
early.
not test it out, right? Oh,
Yeah, maybe
man.
on the
All right,
next one.
listen. So, Kenny, do you want to go first, or would you let one?
No, I would like to go second to last.
First? Okay, so
Yeah.
first on my screen is Mike. Mike,
Yes.
hot take me.
My God, Dave, I didn't do my full homework. I was gonna piggyback off somebody. Not gonna lie, but
That's okay.
I don't know. I have a weird feeling that the O line's gonna struggle this year.
Oh, God. Just get him out. Get him out.
Just gonna say it.
O line
You
struggles.
got the old dudes of Lane and Kelsey. I don't think Kelsey's gonna stay healthy this whole season. I mean, how can you when you have to get your knees and elbows scraped out
What are the emo
during the
music in
off season
background?
for 10 years? And then I don't know. You got Cam at right guard, left guard, right guard.
You'd be right.
He's
Which
in
one?
there. He's in
Right guard.
Probably, I think, yeah.
Which is gonna be a learning curve. You know, I don't know. I think it's all gonna kind of like. I don't think they're gonna be bad, but I think they're gonna struggle a little bit.
So you're having some vibes. Vibes on the offensive line. It's interesting to me. I'll be curious to
Yes,
see
sir.
when this all shakes out. I'm gonna be curious to see how many of these hot takes are negative. I'll be curious to see this.
All of them.
Because I have a feeling.
Well,
I have a feeling.
My other hot take was Gainwell's gonna be RB1.
Oh, well, they already confirmed that, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Did they?
Alphabetical order.
That's a coinkadinkle.
Is it?
There's
You
no
sure
way
about
Swift
that?
is 4.
Are you sure about that?
Are you sure?
Are you
Are you sure?
Are you sure?
Never felt like my favorite one. Like before, used to be the Blinky guy. But the Are You Sure? It's pretty up there. I like it.
So
I'll
Wait,
take
wait.
those.
So, how many games has Kelsey missed in his career? Like, I mean, honestly, like realistically, a number is like less than 5, right?
Not very many.
I mean,
like
yeah. So
5.
So, well, it's 2012. I seriously don't know. I'm just thinking the last couple of, years.
Yeah,
I
not
ju-
many.
yeah, I know. Like in 2012, he didn't really play, but he hasn't really missed any if many since then. I think it's non
So-
14, right? Jason, is that right? You think?
Yeah, you're putting me on the spot there. I'm not sure. What I can tell you is that they have been extremely successful in the way they have scheduled their practices, including not playing their players basically at all in the preseason. And I'm not saying that injuries aren't possible, especially when you have a guy like Kelsey who's probably stuck around a year too long already. But their record is really, really good for game time injuries right now. So hopefully it stays that way.
I got him missing. His last game missed was October 26, 2014.
Yeah,
There you go.
And he missed the
I just think that trend-
hernia.
that trend's going to continue, I think. So I'll debunk your hot take with my non-hot take.
It's fair.
And what was the other one?
They have depth there.
Oh,
I just said
Cam Jurgen, right?
Yeah.
So I will argue one thing that I've been arguing is that when you are sandwiched between a potential Hall of Famer and a very, very, very good lineman, it doesn't matter who the fuck you put in there. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna excel, but that is a very good possibility because he's playing a position that is like what 2 away from his normal position. He's like center something, and then what he's gonna play. So that one's more believable for me. I just don't see Kelsey regressing.
I mean Lane too. Like
Yeah,
Lane's not.
he's gonna have to
you
give
know,
up a sack, right?
One
I mean injury wise with Lane.
Well, I mean, he's got 980 consecutive snaps or something like that without a sack.
They are deep though in the interior. I mean, with Steen, Driscoll,
Yeah, if
Opeta, right?
Driscoll. I don't mind him inside, but when the couple snaps he's had to fill in for Lane, he just
Yeah, outside he
Not a
struggles,
tackle.
no doubt.
Who?
Driscoll.
Oh. Yeah, if that guy sees significant time, something has derailed.
Well, to Mike's point, if Kelsey, Mike and Dave's point, if Kelsey goes down, you slide Jurgens over and Steen can fill in at right guard, which, is still not ideal, but it's depth. At least
They're one injury away from being okay, right? Like if one goes down, I think they have enough pieces where they can maneuver the line around a bit. 2 go down, now you're worried.
I think we're underestimating. I think you're underestimating
Jason.
Stoutland University a little bit.
Yeah,
mean,
I
That's a good
agree.
point.
There's
That's a good point.
there's a part of this that's like we haven't, some of these guys haven't played in a year, and that's a year with Jeff Stoutland. I don't know what they can do. I'm not saying it's a shoo-in, but you have to assume that some of your backups are capable at this point.
It's a Good point.
Well, Jay, since you're talking, why don't you run with your hot take right now?
Yeah, so I have a couple pretty strong takes, but I don't want to because they do match up with my concerns pretty well. I'm going to give you one hot take because I think it's kind of searing hot, and it's one that I feel pretty confident about. So I am, at least at this point, almost completely out on Nakobe Dean. I don't think he's ready. Beyond that, he still looks undersized to me. It doesn't mean that he can't make a play now and then. I think he is a playmaker at the end of the day. But I am very much and it's not a head thing either, right? He's got the green dot. I'm confident with that. But generally speaking, he doesn't quite look like an NFL player yet to me, and that's scary because you're kind of banking on him. So
it's crazy that you said that because I literally was laying in bed yesterday and I was up at like 4 and I was like, isn't Nakobe Dean gonna be good? Like I agree that his brain is there and he could probably read a playbook just like as good as like anyone else. I just think he's undersized and I don't know if he's going to be maybe a leader is not the right word. Maybe he will be a good leader. I just don't know if his skills are going to be able to let him be a good leader.
Can't lead from the bench.
Yeah, and special, you can't lead from special teams. That's clear as day. Except for that fucking guy from a couple years ago with the long hair. What was his last name? Brennan or something like that? With that
Brandon
fucking
Brayman.
psycho. What was it?
Brayman.
Yeah, that dude scared me.
That's a good pull, Joe. I'm impressed.
I get them once in a while.
Yeah.
You got Chris Maragos who got hurt and sued the Eagles.
Suit him. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know that happened. Really?
Yeah.
What? Because he was a wedge buster? Is that what the?
No, he said that they rushed him back.
Oh
Yeah.
well, the training staff at that point was
rough.
atrocious. So.
Yeah.
Well, the training staff at that point was like, just drink a green smoothie and you'll be good.
It was the equivalent of rub dirt on it.
Yeah.
It's a
Not
Robitussin
great.
and get out there.
It's a light years different than what we're dealing with now.
Jay, to your point, it pains me to say because I wanted this dude in that draft. And when they finally drafted him in the 3rd round, I went nuts. But just the way, I don't know. I'm holding out hope. But I definitely see where you're coming from.
That's not good.
I'm not there.
I'm not there. I'm not where Jay's at, but I see his concern for sure. I have the thing that's keeping me together is I have faith in the front 4/5. So if Jordan Davis and
Carter
can I don't know why I had a brain fart there. If they can do their job and do it well, I don't think you got to worry about his size.
But now you're also relying on another rookie to do
exactly
a job.
Jalen Carter is,
which everything. See, it's going to be funny to me. I think that might flip flop, which I hope it's not true. But you know what I mean. It could be Carter struggling and Dean taking a step. But again, to Jay's point, it's not insane to think that Dean just isn't it. There's a reason he fell, right? There's also a reason that Ringo fell, right? We don't know what we're going to get. He's undersized for sure.
Yeah. I'll throw a little gas on it too. Part of this comes from what I've been paying attention to guys on the beat. And I listened to 2 or 3 guys who have had similar podcasts with similar, setups at this point. And one of the things that they talk about is like what guy, because they're giving their takes the whole time. So they start at the beginning of training camp. What guy was I wrong about, right? And multiple beat writers at the beginning of camp were like, this is a lot to hand to Nakobe Dean. I'm kind of concerned about it. And then they get to the end of the camp and they're like, who has made the biggest change? Who were you the most wrong about, do you think? And none of them said Nakobe Dean. So like, it's not just what I'm seeing. It's like, I'm concerned because there are beat writers saying like, indicating similar things. So yeah.
And that goes towards Joe's point too, though, is if you get the line producing, even if Dean has just like meh year, it won't be the end of the world. He just can't have a fucking bad year. You know what I mean?
Another thing is, I never really, when I was adamant that they draft him, I understand he played the middle in college, but I was thinking more off ball, maybe Will. So when he said he's playing middle, I'm like, okay, because that's like, I know we're probably gonna get this later, but the area of concern, if you got to pick one for the Eagles defense, is the middle of the field. And I mean, middle linebacker down your back to your. I mean, we'll see with Blankenship and the carousel. I think they're going to have at the other safety spot. Eventually, it's going to be Browns, I think. But
it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny how you bring that up because like I'm seeing it from the complete opposite angle. I think, and I actually think that Nakobe Dean has a chance to break out. I'll get to that a little bit later. And I think a lot of it has to do with his coverage. Fact that he can be a versatile Mike linebacker. Oh, he's 230 pounds. Like, dude's brick.
yeah,
I know he's not big. Like, he's not tall. I wouldn't call him like jacked, right? But he can cover. That combo with Maddox, middle. I really do. So I don't know. I to be honest,
If
how
you
we
can
kinda-
keep
we're
the
kinda-
offensive line off of him.
yeah, exactly.
well, and that's sure, of course, that's fair. Going to be important. Now he didn't in preseason like most of them didn't. So it's kind of hard to tell like what's going
That's
on
good.
with that.
I mean, it's a good sign considering the way they deploy their units in the preseason.
Exactly.
The less
The
you
other
play,
the other thing,
the more faith they
yeah,
have.
the other thing too is, dude, they made him the captain. Are we trusting him or no? Are we trusting? You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing?
Dave, if you're right,
Did,
I'm
did
coming
they
over there
make
and kiss
him
you
a
right in the
captain?
mouth.
Did they make him a captain, or do the players vote for who is the captains?
Right.
No,
Players do, right?
Yeah,
I don't
You
think
sure?
so.
Oh, they just.
I think it is.
Who the hell was
They
it?
got 9. They got 9 guys that are captains right now, right?
Too many
Yeah. Okay.
captains.
So tell me something. If
I think it's a good sign either way. I mean, don't get me wrong.
if AJ Brown got voted a captain, but Dante Smith didn't, would you trot that out there? Because they have 2 wide receivers as captains. It's kind of odd.
One is a vocal leader. One is a
Mm.
I show you what to do kind of leader, right? Like that's
Could be.
Devontae doesn't
Dogs
speak.
and leaders. Did you hear that from Dion?
Yeah.
Dogs and leaders.
Yeah.
My boy
He's got-
Dion. My boy
He's got 2
Dion.
types of captains: dogs
Oh,
and
good
leaders.
Let's get
Dude,
in.
that
Let's get into
documentary's pretty
Colorado
good, too. If y'all
later.
didn't watch it, check it out.
Which one, Jason?
It's Coach Prime. It's on Amazon. Very good.
Oh, Coach Prime. Okay. So yeah, I let's go. And I got and Joe, did you? I'm losing track already.
What's that?
All right, we
Hot
lost you
takes.
there, bro.
Did I?
Yeah.
Yeah, you cut out
Okay.
because of your cool brick wall back there.
It's a facade.
You need
It's a
some pointing.
studio.
It's
You need some
fake.
pointing, bro.
It's actually a
It's act-
curtain.
it's act-
That's just
yeah.
fucking Trump's gonna do a report from there from the 4 seasons.
I'm fucking hardwired. I don't understand why this doesn't work. I'm literally
And you were
plugged
late. You should've
into
gotten your shit together.
the wall.
Let me guess, you're plugged into Comcast.
Comcast doesn't come here.
Good.
So
Uh,
Verizon?
Do you also
Verizon.
get your internet from Trinidad, where you get your TV from?
No, Michael. Internet from FiOS only, trusted provider. Sparrow, you did not give me a hot take yet. Why don't you hit me?
I did not. I think I'm gonna go positive. Speaking
Ooh,
of the
okay.
defensive line, I think you're gonna see a lot of flashes from Milton Williams
Oh, I love it. I love it.
That's hot.
as they ease Fletcher Cox into the sunset. I mean, I don't like obviously we don't know what Sean decided. We kind of know his scheme, you know, the shell, cover 2, a lot of 5-man fronts. It's similar to that jackass Gannon, but I'm sure it's gonna be a lot more disguised.
Fucking hate that guy.
Well, yeah, not
mean,
quite
if
as
I'm
stupid. Yeah.
If I'm calling out where they're going in the Super Bowl from a couch at my uncle's house,
Wait, who did you say you don't? Who do you
Yeah.
hate?
Jonathan Gannon.
Maybe
What are you
Patty
talking
Mahomes
about?
can figure it out if Joe Sparrow can figure it out. Just
Yeah.
If you're late, you're getting fined.
Yeah.
You're not above the team. You didn't hear his latest and greatest new one?
Yeah, we don't need the
Did you have a
quarterback
did you
yet.
have a fire in your
Okay.
gut?
Yeah.
I don't.
That guy's such a pussy.
Yeah, but I think you're going to see him a lot, especially when they go small on like passing downs. I think he's going to wreak a lot of havoc for other teams. I think he's been waiting, learning. I heard good things from camp, just listening to different radio shows and reading on Twitter. But I think he's somebody to watch out for on the line, other than the usual.
Have you guys heard anything about Hassan Reddick injury?
He'll play. He's playing week 1.
He's going to play.
Mhm.
You're okay.
I
Because
heard
Joe's
that too,
talking
yeah.
about D line. I'm just trying to figure out like what's going on there. I know that he was listed as questionable, which is probably just bullshit, but I haven't really heard much about it. It's been kind of
He's flying.
quiet.
You're going to see. I'm pretty sure you're going to see a tight rotation on the D line. Like they did last year to keep everybody fresh. But I think he's going to pop more than expected.
I like it. Some positivity from Joe. I think everybody else's has been negative so far, right? So
Toxic positivity.
toxic positivity. Gordy, what do you got?
Go Sixers.
So yeah, go Sixers. For a hot take, I'll go with Devontae Smith having more receiving yards than AJ Brown this year.
Love it.
I don't know that that's gonna. I don't know. It's really a hot take, but
What does
I
that
can
look
see
like for
that
AJ
happen.
Brown's future?
I think it looks I think it looks fine because I think one's going to have 13 plus 100, the other's going to have 1,200. So, I think it's going to be fine. I actually like, Sparrow's take there on Milton Williams kind of taking some of old Fletcher's snaps because, to be quite honest with you, dude's getting a little long in the tooth. He's not the dominant guy he once was. It's kind of time. Like I actually thought they were just going to let him go last year. They didn't. They brought him back. That's fine. It's time to transition him out. Nobody on the defensive line should be probably playing more than 30, 34 snaps in a game. I mean, with their rotation. I don't see why you would with the depth they got, like specifically on the line. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Like I'm just of that mindset. I think the defense is going to be fine. They have somebody with a half a brain actually calling the shit this year. So when you actually need to dial something up, something will get dialed up.
Hey,
Nobody
listen.
saw me do
Hopefully,
that because I'm on the
hopefully
radio,
he's,
but
hopefully he's not, interviews and shit while he's trying to call plays or not looking for that phantom motion play.
well, listen, dude, that play, we used to run that in flag football. We scored less on it than the Chiefs did in the Super Bowl. Okay. So that's them. That's
You're going against the
him
coordinator.
falling down on his fucking face, dude. Like, I don't even know what to say about that. It's still stomach turning to this day.
You know what's really fucked up? I don't know if any of you guys have
Screw that
watched
dude.
the quarterback documentary. But
Started to.
I did, and I watched it all the way through. I was against it. I was not going to do it. I was not going to watch like the end, but I did.
I did not. I avoided the end.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I was gonna not watch the last episode, but I was like, fuck it, I'll just watch it. I'm here. I mean, whatever. How much are they gonna show? And they didn't really show too much, but the one thing that I thought was hilarious was that one play where they had the opposite motion, the fake motion. They were in the wrong fucking formation.
Yeah.
They were in the wrong formation, dude.
He really. How'd that guy get a fucking job? Seriously.
numbers.
Well, there's a really easy answer to that. The Arizona
Caleb Williams.
the Cardinals are just one of the worst organizations in the history of sport. They're just
Correct.
terrible. It's
Correct.
bad ownership. It's bad everything. Always.
Never
Correct.
met.
At least the Mets think they know what they're doing.
Cardinals don't even try to fake it. Yeah, they don't even try to
Cardinals
fake
have
it.
been throwing shit against the wall for fucking 60 years.
Did you
Oh,
guys see
God.
that clip of their camp that was circling on Twitter, where they had both
No.
both quarterbacks who don't know
Oh,
who
I
to start.
saw it.
You know, they're wearing the yellow jerseys, and they do the drill where somebody throws them the ball, and they each throw to a receiver who's running the same route, just on the opposite ends of the field. They both threw picks at the same time.
That's
It's so-
great.
Oh God,
That's
it's
so
so
good.
fucking good,
They may
I
not
can't-
win 3 games this year.
dude. I cannot wait. The Eagles need to win that game. I
The
need to
only
put
way
that
the
meme
Eagles
up.
don't, dude, the only way they don't is literally if they are sitting everybody because they were undefeated going into the game.
That was the
But they
like-
wouldn't sit everybody undefeated, right?
No, they wouldn't. They wouldn't.
They got to
No.
win that game. All right. So listen,
The 6
I
of
like
us
the-
could win that game.
I like the I like the positivity, Sparrow, because mine's not positive. Kenny, what's you? What do you got? What's your hot take? Do you have any?
I have 3. They're
3
short.
hot takes.
They're short. Number
Let's
1.
get-
Fuck you. Eli Ricks is a name you're going to hear a lot of. And I don't know if it's just going to be on special teams, but I think he's going to worm his way in.
These are supposed to be hot takes. He was the number 1 recruit in the country, Kenny.
He was undrafted, you fucking cunt. How about that?
Boo!
Huh?
Jalen Hurts is going to be good.
Oh, it's not even close. Unbelievable. He wasn't even fucking drafted. He fell in their lap.
He's gonna do
Yeah,
what? What
it
do you
was a
think he's
good
gonna
signing.
play? What do you think he's gonna do? You think he's gonna play? He's not gonna play corner.
Maybe an injury comes up.
Okay.
I mean, you have some aging corners. I can see that.
And it's not really a hot take. It's a pretty obvious thing, but they got to do something at safety on the other side there. And I don't know if I know what we believe we saw in Blankenship, but like, you know, I'm a little worried there. And then not to have a proven guy next to him scares me enough to be really worried about the safety play, which is funny because they haven't really had safety issues in a long time. So it's kind of funny that it's come up. And then Sipas will not punt one time this year for the Eagles. Not once.
Isn't he their punter coming in?
That's
I
hot.
think
I like that.
Isn't he in there?
He's in the practice squad, so I
He's
still
in-
think they're going to sign someone.
Yeah, they're gonna elevate him for game day. Is the rumor?
They're gonna have to, right? Like
Yeah.
they're gonna have to just
What
for
about
just for
man?
that one game.
Can't
They need
find
a
anybody.
punter.
Jake Elliott can punt.
Is it
We've
How
seen
old
it.
is- How old is Sav Rocco?
1,005.
Just get
Um,
Jeff Fiegels. He's
all-
probably bagging groceries
no.
at CVS.
No,
Danny
why?
Boat now.
Why won't they move on that man guy?
Who?
I mean,
I don't know.
anyone
I-
has to be better than Sipas.
We can't go down the fucking chart, dude. We don't know anything about them other
Well,
than
the real
please kick
question-
the ball.
The real question is, do they go after was it Matt Ariza or whatever his name is?
They won't do it.
They won't.
Punk guy.
Yeah, I don't think they'll do it either, but it's the only thing that would like make a significant difference in this conversation.
What's Donnie Bones Jones doing?
Yeah. Hey, listen.
We've had some
Ryan
great
Reddick,
punters.
let's go.
Yeah.
That's
Can
why
they
that
pay-
Cam
can-
Johnson thing was weird. Why they just cut him?
Because he sucked. Because they all sucked.
Nah, he was
Can they
good.
pay Pat McAfee more than ESPN?
No.
Ew.
That's not even why he's not in the league. He's not in the league because he wants to smoke weed. And that's what he said. And then now he came into all this money. You know?
He's got plenty of money.
All right,
More
so
than
Kenny,
enough.
Kenny,
I will say. I
is-
will say. I
go ahead, Gordy.
Go ahead. I was gonna say, like, I know. Listen, we'd all love to have CJ GJ out there, But judging by how
I wouldn't.
his offseason went and all the things he said, dude, they knew something behind the scenes that this guy didn't have it up here, and
They offered him-
cut bait on him.
They
Yeah, they
offered
did.
him a more than fair enough contract,
Sure.
above the value, and they even said, "Hey, bud, we like you more than we like Slay and Bradbury, so we're going to give you the money." And he said, "That's not enough."
Right, and that tells you he doesn't have the headspace to go out and actually do what they need him to do.
I
You don't
agree.
turn
I'm
that
kinda
contract
glad.
down.
And the only thing
Dude's
he did,
dead to me.
did he have a good Super Bowl? I really wasn't. I just remember the hit. Other than that,
Well, he was on the defense, so he did not have a good Super Bowl.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
That's a great take right there.
yeah. I don't think they're going to miss him.
No, they won't.
They're gonna miss him, but you couldn't sign him. Listen,
Yeah.
I was a huge stan, as they say. But yeah, you couldn't sign him. He's a head case. He's too much, man.
Where's he at? Detroit now?
Yeah.
Is he going to play this week?
Talk,
Or is he
talking
still
all
hurt?
that shit.
I think he's hurt, right? I don't know. Who cares?
Who cares? Let's move on. All right.
Hot take. You guys are gonna love this one. I believe that the running game is gonna struggle.
And it's-
Hurts
and
included or no?
I think
That's a
Hurts
good
will,
question,
Hurts
yeah.
will. I think that they are going to. I think that people are minimizing the impact that Miles Sanders had here, and I'm not like Sanders. I am just being real. The dude had 259 carries. Of course,
And can
you love Yak, so don't talk shit right now because he's a big Yak guy. They are going
you
to
die. Ugh.
Go ahead.
The fucking Miles Sanders hill. You had to fucking roll that hill back the fuck out here, and you had to stand on it in your fucking season preview. Unfucking believable. Unbelievable.
It's not a hill. It's
He was so
numbers.
fucking good that he would have
It's
been in
math.
the goddamn Super Bowl contributing.
I
They
don't care
fucking
about the
went to
Super Bowl.
Kenny
The Super Bowl's
Gainwell.
over. They lost.
Of course you don't care about it because it doesn't
They
fit
lost.
your fucking agenda.
How many touchdowns did Kenny Gainwell have in the Super Bowl?
It doesn't. Fucking Christ. Obviously, he wasn't a priority, or they would have used him in any fucking way. He was
This
hurt.
isn't about
He fucking
okay. This is
is
about
a
what he
pussy.
did over the season. This is about what he did over the season. He had 250 fucking almost 1,500 rushing yards.
And the season before that, he had 0 touchdowns and did not look good.
It doesn't matter.
Football
The season
is
before it doesn't matter.
ups and downs. Oh, now, so then
Jalen
you're
Hurts
then
looked like
what you're
shit.
saying doesn't matter. What?
The season before that, Jalen Hurts looks like shit.
Well, that's not true. That just didn't fit your agenda at that time either. So
No, stop it. You can't tell me that 2 years ago Jalen Hurts was good.
I'm gonna get some popcorn. Back.
better than Wentz.
Oh God, this isn't about Wentz, man. All I'm trying to say is that they have to find somebody to carry the fucking football. Gainwell,
They have 4 of them.
Penny the most carries in a season is 119. The most Swift's
off
ever had is
injured.
151. The
Yeah,
68.
that's because he was behind
And
your
we're sitting-
workhorse.
and we're sitting around acting like it's no big deal that they just lost their running back and their offensive coordinator.
They're going to feel those losses.
How am I the only
one
one
that
that thinks
thinks
that's like a concern?
Did Jay have to take a shit?
Maybe,
so.
but
Assume so, yeah.
He went like this.
at least he muted the mic. No,
I don't know.
Listen.
I'm in
I
this
think-
huge belief that running backs in the NFL don't fucking matter. They don't matter.
That
And
you're talking
especially-
about. No, you're
Well-
talking about as far as payroll. I'm talking about
Yeah.
as far as
No.
game activity.
You have a quarterback. Like if they had like a Peyton Manning under center, then you could be like listen before you go. Fucker. If they had like a Peyton Manning behind there and they didn't have the Hurts running ability, then the running back would be a huge fucking issue. But they're just gonna run Hurts. That's what they're gonna do. And I know that's not great for the future. I'm aware of the situation, but I think you put too much stock in Sanders. Is that my watermelon cup? Yeah, you.
You're on mute.
This guy's got the watermelon cups.
He's on mute.
Oh my! That's a dollar store special.
He's on mute the whole time. He's giving us a dissertation about
I know.
watermelon cups, and he's on mute.
I know. I love it. You're muted.
It's hilarious.
I feel like I'm on a fucking podcast within the alley. You're on mute.
Question for you. I have a question for you. What cup are you drinking out of there, buddy?
This is Shelly's.
Oh, yeah. Who recognized the cups were at Shelley's and then you took them? I didn't even get anything out of that. I found them.
Actually,
you took them.
This one's ours.
Yeah.
We went
I'll
to
give
this
you-
one.
Oh, okay. I'll give you the watermelon cup back when I get my Flyers cup back. All right.
It's not a fair trade. Keep your cup. All right, Dave. Sorry, I derailed you.
No, that's what you do. It's okay. Listen, the running game is gonna. It's gonna be a
But
struggle.
like, what is the impact of that? Like, I know what you're saying.
because
I just
I
feel like
guarantee
the
you,
running back is dying.
Penny or Swift will be injured, so they will not be.
All right,
part
here's
of
a hot
this.
take. Both of them
Boston
play the whole
Scott-
year, no injuries.
I mean, you're just coming up with shit. You're just making shit up now.
Yeah,
Just like you are making up the value of freaking. I almost just said Boston Scott.
No, it's black and white. I know how many fucking yards he had.
I know he had a good
That's
year.
fine.
I hear you. I think it's the least of their worries. They got enough capable guys on low budget contracts that will move the needle for you.
Good. Maybe they can
You
sign.
probably hope
LeGarrette
they find
Blount
that guy each game, right?
in week 14.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if you're talking fantasy, I wouldn't draft an Eagles running back.
No.
The only one that
No.
might be worth it is Swift because you can get in a PPR league, right?
Yeah,
Careful.
PPR, yeah.
Now is in the fantasy podcast, fantasy football league. So take it easy here. You're giving
Yeah,
out
tell
pointers.
us more about what you think about fantasy, buddy.
Dave should automatically have to take Miles Sanders in the first round. It's automatic. You have to take him.
Listen, I'll tell you this. If I get the 10th pick, I'll take Miles Sanders.
Crazy because he's also hurt
Someone
again.
give him the 10th pick.
I know, Jesus Christ. Actually, it could be the 11th pick because they would sneak back around, right?
He's gonna hit the snake.
Yeah. Yeah.
He is hurt
all
again
right.
though, right? I think I heard that.
Yeah, he was hurt.
But
all right.
Dave, to
That's
your point about
Go
the
ahead,
backs,
Joe.
real quick. I think they're going to make up for, or try to make up for his loss by throwing more, especially to the backs.
So
Might
you're
not.
saying a dump off
They're-
pass would be as good as a running
They're
up the
re-
middle?
Their run game might regress, but I think they're thinking. I think their thinking is they have backs that can catch the ball out of the backfield. Because they might have been last. I don't even know, but they were low.
Right.
They're definitely in the bottom
Right.
third of the league when it came to running back receptions last year.
Yeah, so I guess the one thing that I would counter with
to
that is
avoid
that it
running
makes
Hurts and not having a workhorse.
it worries me that they would try to completely throw that wrinkle into the offense with a brand new offensive coordinator. And
I get you. Yep.
you know, new personnel. I don't know. It's just
You
something
don't know.
that
We also, not you specifically, but we don't know. First off, Castellanos is hitting
good point
second
there, Joe.
tonight. We don't know how much Nick Sirianni is in that offensive. Do you know what I'm trying to say? How much he has
Yeah,
his
I
little. Fuck off, Siri. Oh, We don't know how much that he is impact that. Oh, you know what I mean?
Who? Sirianni or the
Yeah,
or the-
Sirianni.
I mean,
Do you
I
think he
hope
has
that
no
Sirianni
say in
has,
any of that?
No, I think he's got.
Sirianni has all the say.
I think he has his. I think he has framework that what he wants his offense to look like, and then he gives his coordinators
Like the play call.
to call plays and develop schemes within his like style, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Of,
It's interesting.
Keep this thing moving.
Because we'll be here for 3 hours. No joke. Let's just keep it rolling. So this
you want us to leave,
Ha-
Dave?
let's-
I mean, I'm having a good time.
no, you got to stay. You got to stay. You're locked in.
I
Can't
can't
go anywhere. To standout player, right? We've kind of already touched on these, and unless you guys have another? Do you want to elaborate on a standout player that you may have already touched on? Gordy, you go first.
No, I mean, like I said, I just think Smith's going to have a phenomenal year opposite AJ Brown. You know, I mean, I think everybody looks at him as like a 1B, and
Not Cowboy
I genuinely
fans.
think, well, you know, I just think he's a true 1A. We're just lucky enough to have two 1As. You know what I mean? Like I really do. I think our receiving core is not deep because after the two of them, I mean, I don't really know what else they've got beyond that. Got some really good tight ends that can catch the ball, but your passing game is going to be those two. Hopefully, they stay healthy because those two guys should never come the hell off the field. And then from there, you know, you go your tight ends, and then I do think you run a lot of screen passes out of the backfield with your running backs because you got a bunch of them that all do a lot of the same things very well. Might as well let them catch and supplement the run game that way. Because if it's not going to be in between the tackles, you can pull out the old West Coast wrinkle and throw that in there. So, but yeah, I mean, my thing is still Devontae. I think he's just going to be phenomenal this year. He's peaking.
Yeah, they got to show me something with the screen game because in the past it's been kind of shitty. Honestly.
Well, especially with
Oh
Hurts.
my God.
Yeah.
Douglas Peterson's
I mean-
game was the worst.
Yeah,
Oh,
was bad.
it really was.
And
bad.
coming from under Andy Reid, you wouldn't have expected that, but it was bad.
Oh,
All right, so Gordy's on Devontae. Jay, who's your standout guy?
Yeah, so this will be the jersey that I purchase when I get a Kelly Green, a new Kelly Green at least. I think Nolan Smith Jr. is the answer. I think your 2 first-round picks this year I think are unreal, and I don't know how the NFL let that happen. But I think you're going to feel an immediate impact. He's an edge rusher. On top of that, I don't have them pulled up. I probably should, but the quotes coming out of this guy are just like gold. Dude's like, "Oh, we hate Dallas around here. I figure I might as well hate them too. So fuck them." Like this, like he's our kind of dude. He like talks the talk. I think he's gonna walk the walk. I'm really excited to see him get after a quarterback, man.
So, what do you think he's going to get as far as snap?
You think he's gonna be like
A 10, 15 snap guy?
I think you're gonna see him more as it gets towards the end of the year. I think you're gonna see, you know, whether it's an injury and they do a pretty good job with the defensive line staying fresh, but you know, at some point it becomes hard to deny that a guy is as talented as he is. And, you know, you're going to deal with, you know, overrun plays or, you know, the occasional like rookie mistake. But I think he's running back on the field with like a dislocated, whatever was going on with his hand or he just didn't give a shit for the preseason. I just think he's a dog, my words. But yeah.
A dog.
I don't know what the number's going to be. I just think it's going to be sick. I think he's going to be great.
I like him. I'm a big fan of him too.
I went offense and defense. So on offense, I actually at Gainwell. I think Gainwell is, and which is contrary to what you said, but in comparison to previous years, I think obviously they're going to lean on him a lot, and he's going to step up. And then defense, this dude already got mentioned, but I don't know. I got a good feeling about Blankenship.
taking over the safety leadership role
Yeah.
situation.
I mean, I also had Nolan Smith Jr. as well, because I think that dude's just going to light it up. But I don't know. Got a good feeling about Reed at safety.
I like it. See, like
And
now
none of
we
this is
got
backed
positive.
up by numbers.
Well, can't
You asked for standout players.
Yeah.
We can't be like, someone's gonna suck as your standout players.
Stop it. I'm just trying to say, like, give a positive spin here. Kenny, do you want to shit on anybody for a standout?
I think Watkins bounces back, baby. He's gonna have a
Wolf.
wide
Wolf.
receiver 3 year.
Wolf.
Love it.
Wolf.
Love it.
They need him.
Yeah, no
I'm on
shit.
board with that.
If he catches that ball, they win a Super Bowl.
Oh, and what do you always tell me? If what?
I know. If my aunt had a dick, he'd be my uncle. I'm just saying. I think he's gonna bounce back and have a breakout year. Now, I don't know what a breakout year looks like for a wide receiver 3 when you have 2 guys over 1,100 yards. You know what I mean? I don't know. And Goddard probably is gonna be pushing a K. So I don't know what's a good number. 650, couple touchdowns.
Yeah,
It's probably a good number, right?
I mean, if he hit 650 and like 3 or 4 touchdowns, I mean that's like that's amazing.
Did you guys do? I know that you all know like about Deshaun Jackson, but like, if you guys looked at his like over 60-yard touchdowns and over 80-yard touchdowns, the numbers are disgusting. So like, if they can get that impact from Watkins in any way, if they can get him to fucking turn the Jets on and get any 60-yarders, I think you'll be very good to see that. Do you know what I mean? So it's crazy. But I think he's gonna bounce back. He heard all of us talking shit, and it makes it easy if he doesn't bounce back, right? He just doesn't. We don't fucking re-sign him. So, it's a big year for him, and I think he's gonna ball out. And they probably won't be able to re-sign him. I don't think he's on the team again, right? Because if he has a good year, he's gonna get paid. If he has a shitty year, they're not gonna pay him. So this is it for him. So he's gonna do it. Hyping up a WR3.
Sparrow, what do you got?
I got Josh Sweat.
Nice.
Often
forget that guy is even on the team. That's how
he is
quiet.
And that just is again from what like reading like Jeff McClain and Zach Berman and stuff. He's like been the most dominant in these joint practices. I think he's just gonna be a beast. I do love Nolan Smith. I think he's gonna do well this year, but I think the snaps he gets this year is gonna propel him to even greater things next year when like Brandon Graham's gone and Derek Barnett's officially gone. Hopefully sooner rather than next year. But
did they trade him?
They're trying to. I don't think he's gonna. I don't think.
But no one offered anything of value.
No, I don't think so. But I think Josh Sweat's going to be unreal. Like maybe even outproduce Hassan Reddick. I think he's come off the other edge. Is going to be just a beast.
So I like that. I think I have to go back because I have a standout / hot take, and part of my standout was I already kind of told. I think Nakobe Dean is actually gonna step up, and I actually like him in the role where he is. I think he's going to solidify the middle. Like you said, the concern is shedding blocks. Totally legit. Totally hear that. I think he's athletic. I think he can make plays. I think he can cover. and I think he solidifies that middle in combo with Maddox. I think that they have a good, solid short middle defense. But something else that I think is something that should be kept with the Quez Watkins conversation is the Zacchaeus conversation. My man can be a legit deep threat. Legit. Now, I don't know
You
how
talking
much
about the punt
opportunity.
returner? Who'd you say?
Olamide Zacchaeus.
Yeah, he's the punt returner.
Is it
Yeah,
Olamide
fine.
or Olamide?
Olamide.
How do you say it?
All of me to these
Yeah.
nuts in your face. Hey!
I know. He is. But no, his numbers last year on deep balls are nasty, just nasty. And I mean, he's under the rate talked about. I'm down on Quez Watkins. I think that he sucks. I don't want him on the team, to be honest. I'm over him. I'm over it.
Ooh.
He had too many high pressure drops for me. I don't want that dude here. I really don't. So
Are you,
I hope
are you hurt? Are you hurt over the Commanders game?
the Commanders game is a large piece of the puzzle.
That was brutal.
What a
It's brutal.
shitty fucking game to be at.
The worst. The fucking worst.
It
Like-
was bad.
You know, like the home one.
It's a
Jay.
W. It was. Oh
No,
yeah.
the home.
No,
the
we
home,
went to-
yeah.
Yeah, Dave and I had the fortunate luck to go to both of them.
We went to both.
Yeah, that's you made a mistake there. That's on you.
You know, that was just brutal. Okay, and I don't know. Like I just
Gordy's
don't
now
want him
going to
around
take a shit.
anymore.
Dave,
I'm
I do
tired
have
of.
Dave, I got a question for you.
Go ahead, Jay.
How tall is Zacchaeus?
How tall is he?
Probably Jalen Rager's height, 4 foot.
He's short.
He's short.
I'll
He's
look it
like
up. Hold on.
he's under 5'10".
No,
5'8".
I have it.
He's 5'8".
5'8". How much does he weigh?
3 pounds, 6 ounces.
Well,
Who
who cares?
He's a speed guy.
Is he? What's his 40 time?
I'm saying he's a deep threat, is what I'm saying. If you look up his stats, his deep
I hear
threat.
you. I don't know, man. 5'8", 190, 449. He better track that ball like Deshaun Jackson.
Listen, all I know is what I know, and a player he could play.
I hope you're right.
Well, he probably won't.
I haven't
play.
seen anything.
Dave saw the script.
A player on that shitty Falcons team.
Dave's off the script.
Yeah, he had a terrible quarterback. Who was that again?
Oh, yeah,
Ritter?
Here, let's go in on this a little bit. Why does everybody hate Marcus Mariota?
Mostly just because he can't play football that good.
That
He
sums
He
it
doesn't
up.
really have, but he doesn't really have to
That's my
anymore.
point.
So, like, why does everybody hate the back? Since when does everybody a legit backup quarterback? Can somebody explain this to me?
Go Ducks.
You need a backup quarterback to win you a game if it comes to that. That's it.
Or the Super Bowl, depending on what year it is, bro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Guess my point is like, is the backup quarterback ever going to win the Super Bowl again? Ever?
Who was the last one to do it before him?
I don't know. I
That
actually.
dude in the Giants.
Jeff Hostetler. Come on,
That's
get it
what-
together, Dave.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good pull.
Yeah, I was saying Jeff Hostetler now.
I believe you, Gordo. I believe you.
I don't trust the Sixers snake.
Did I get to talk about their stand-up player? Okay, great.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Let's move on to concerns. Concerns, worries, uneasiness. Now, obviously, we've talked about some of this, but I have some things here that haven't been talked about yet. So I'm sure that you guys do too. Mike, do you have any concerns or worries about the Eagles this year? Other than that big matchup in Week
I don't
17.
know. Week 7. God, I don't know. I think my O-line comment, like I think it went with the hot take.
Yeah, I mean they kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah. Told you I didn't really do my homework, so if I think of anything, I'll let you know.
Young guys is not used to having homework.
Yeah, Dave, shut the fuck up.
So you're doing a good job, Mike, but you got to throw in a pussy somewhere along the ways when you start roasting Dave. You got to get him with a pussy.
I respect my elders, Kenny.
And then
Yeah, you should.
talk about Myers Sanders, Carson Wentz. Who else? Who else? can we
Who's
talk
Myers
about?
Sanders?
Yeah.
Myers. Voodoo Ranger. Myers Sanders.
Are you okay? Are you okay, you silly goose?
Maybe not. Maybe not. Joe Sparrow, your turn. Take it away.
I'm gonna change. I was gonna go with the low-hanging fruit, but I think it's just really, really hard to be that lucky to be that healthy again. They were so friggin' healthy last year,
Completely valid. Completely valid.
and it's I mean I hope I'm wrong, but I can't expect that again. I mean I don't care how good your training staff is. They were. I mean, say what you want about the Chauncey Gardner-Johnson injury and Jalen Hurts spraining his shoulder, but
Pretty
I mean,
minimal.
Lane Johnson played through a torn groin, but he still didn't have any sacks. But they were, I mean, relatively speaking, there was nothing. They were completely healthy.
Yeah. No, nothing major.
And that's just
There's some old dudes too on the team
terrifying to
this
me,
year.
how healthy they were, and to do it again. Yeah, that's scares me more than anything else. Because they're deep. Corner, they're kind of deep. Offensive line, depending where it is, they're deep. You know, they have plenty of backs, but I mean, when you get to receiver and no line and like the tackles, you know, the middle of the field defensively, you're, you know,
I think it's not
you have to
Concerned
call
about
it.
injury. I mean, listen, man.
like they were pretty much lucky last year. They're lucky, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Big time.
Let
Might
me
call Miles Jack
Lucky.
back.
Let me
Go ahead,
piggyback
Jay.
on that. Yeah. We've arrived at my overall theme for today. I have it down as regression to the mean. So here's the thing. Yes, super healthy. They're not going to do that again. Also, they're not going to be one of the best teams in turnovers on both sides of the ball again. Like that's a really hard thing to do. That's how you win football games. Finally, their schedule is way harder than it was. Like last year, last year was the year to win the Super Bowl. Like last year, everything lined up the way you want it to line up. And you came against a Hall of Fame quarterback. Sometimes that happens. I'm not angry about it. It is what it is. But regression to the mean is what I see this year being. You have a lot of different points that sentence, that whatever phrase sums up. And I think that's where you're going to fall back a little bit. I don't think it's that they're not making the playoffs, but it's not going to be like it was last year.
I think you're right, and I think when we get into the schedule conversation, I think that might
More.
than even it is right now. Kenny, I see you chomping at the bit. What do you want to say?
No, I got nothing.
Oh, you look very
Safeties.
excited about something. You must be watching the Phillies game. I know there's a double play.
No, I told you I'm worried about the safeties on both sides. I'm worried about Reed. I hope I'm wrong, but I'm worried about him, and they haven't even picked the other starter. So, and I don't know what Edmonds is the old guy, right? The older guy, he's a veteran.
So what we're talking about
Yeah.
safety depth? Yeah, Edmonds is the older guy. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, I I think they're gonna struggle there. That's gonna be my biggest concern.
Edmonds, Evans, Blankenship, Brown. I think. Right.
And
think
I
that's
don't
the-
know who 3 of those 4 are.
You know, Sidney
know?
Evans
Brown.
wasn't even.
Oh yeah, I forgot about him. I mean, they could start him, but they're taking a chance starting Carter Smith, Dean, and then Brown. That would be fucking
Yeah.
great. I'd love it though. It would be great.
This is what like this is what happens when you sign a quarterback and you sign dudes to
I
larger
know.
deals. You need those younger guys
I'm
to
telling
step
you.
up sooner.
And they have been, in retrospect to all of it, but that would be crazy. And maybe they'll start with Edmonds and then get Brown in there in a couple of weeks when he's fully ready.
The Chiefs did it last year. They had the youngest secondary in the league by a lot. They had like 3
It's-
rookies.
And it's crazy too because like it showed in the Super Bowl because they didn't look good at all, really, honestly, on defense. Chris Jones, but he's like he's a wreck.
Yeah. He's so good that he just decided he's not playing anymore because he won them a Super Bowl.
I love it. It's great. They're
You know what's
finding him $1
interesting
million
about that,
a day.
too? I don't know. The
Listen,
I don't know. I can't look it up right now because it's kind of intense. But the Kansas City Chiefs were actually negative in turnover margin, which I mean, if I had to guess, I'm guessing that most Super Bowl champions are not negative in turnover.
Yeah, that's a pretty good guess.
So that's something to be said. I mean, so that kind of counters Jason's point too, as far as like the turnover differential. Like you can still win, but I mean, we're also talking
Sure.
about Hall of Fame caliber players. I mean, they're not Hall of Fame caliber players; they're Hall of Fame players. Playing on that offense right now. So, it's kind of hard to talk about that also. But the Eagles weren't bad. I mean, I think there were 2 teams better than the Eagles last year in turnover differential, and it was the Niners and the Cowboys. And the Cowboys had nothing to show for it.
Oh, those
The
fucking
Niners.
poverty franchises from the 90s, fucking pussies. We gotta stop arguing with those 2 fan bases, man. I can't do it anymore. I want to put my eyes in a blender and I would be happier. I can't. They're the
We
dumbest.
really do get dumber by talking to them.
Dude,
It's
they're
really
the
bad.
dumbest fan base. It's
And the
just-
49ers are worse than the Cowboys.
And
Like, there's something wrong with them.
It's very true.
I
I don't
And then
know
you
what it
see
is.
it on like they had that radio show that the guys just looked like they were singing the
Oh
what was
my
it?
yeah, cry Eagles,
Eagles,
cry.
what? You guys it's 2023.
Corny man. You'll get me fired the fuck up. I'll be taking a shit and I'm like, I can't believe of how many things that I have to go through that are Cowboys winning the Super Bowl. That Ernie dude has to be the dumbest fucking guy on Twitter.
Dude,
Back
we're
to
gonna fucking trash the Niners when they come here. I don't know about going to the Super Bowl. We're gonna fucking trash the Niners.
I strongly.
The Niners are.
Let me get to my
You're
concerns
welcome.
race first, and then we'll get down into the schedule. We'll spend plenty of time.
I
on
have
it.
another concern. So put me in whenever you want. But it's
Go ahead. You're
I held my
talking.
tongue.
Say it.
all right. So
That's a warning.
So you guys mentioned it earlier. I bit my tongue through the whole conversation because it was mentioned, but the regression of the mean is going to happen. That's just going to happen. My biggest actual concern that I don't know what's going to happen here is I think Shane Steichen was a really good play caller.
Yes.
And I don't know that it's nothing against Brian Johnson, but when you hit a really good play caller, it's really hard to replace that. So, I mean, Nick Sirianni is a great head coach. I don't want to see him go anywhere anytime soon, but it's hard to replace that play calling. And I think it's going to be a major issue. You were talking about the running game struggling. I think it's all going to struggle for at least a time this year. We'll see when that is, but
Thanks for stealing
Yep.
my thunder, Jay.
Yeah, my number
Oh,
one.
I'm
My
bad.
number
I'm
one.
playing with you.
Yeah,
No,
my number one concern / worry is the 2 new coordinators. It's literally what I have written down. I don't see.
So I stole everybody's thunder. My bad.
I don't see. I just don't
Shelf
see
on
how.
trash.
I just don't see how everybody could expect.
At least give me Doylestown. Fuck.
I love how Ken just sits there and snipes. It's my favorite.
That's all he does is snipe, and even when it's just me, he
Love it.
snipes.
Love it.
And he just hit. And I saw him hitting that pen too. So this shit's gonna go off the rails in about 20 minutes. So just,
It's not gonna take him 20 minutes, Dave.
no, I know it's not. We're gonna be at like week 4 of the fucking schedule, and it's gonna be gone. The shit's gonna be gone. Yeah. So the two. It's a fucking problem. Maybe the D more than the offense depends on how much Sirianni is controlling things. Because I literally
See
anything.
I have
No
no
idea what they're gonna do. Like nothing.
Shit.
Can't be
all
worse
I-
than last year.
All I know is that I hope they can beat a good quarterback. Maybe that would be something we could do. I think we've improved
again,
in
Dave.
coverage.
Say it again.
I think we've improved in coverage, to be honest. I think that Nakobe Dean is a good cover guy. I think that Nolan Smith is a good cover guy if they're going to let him out there. I think we have improved there. So I think that they have ability to give that defensive line just a little bit longer to get to those elite quarterbacks that they somehow can't seem to beat. I think it's because they struggled with that short passing game, and I don't think it's going to happen this year. So I think that's something that we could look out for. But the other thing is wide receiver depth. My God. And I already hate Quez Watkins. I already let that out of the bag, right? But even if
Quez is fine.
right? If you're going to throw more, I don't know, depth here. I'm saying. And Gordy kind of touched on it a
They
little bit.
got Greg
earlier.
Ward.
Greg Ward's cut.
He's on the
No more
practice
Greg
squad.
Ward. Is he?
Bring him up. Bring
Yeah.
the Eagles
Ward.
hero up.
Joseph and
Okay,
and somebody else.
Now, yeah, here's this Kenny's hill. Kenny loves to go on the fucking Greg Ward fucking hill.
It's not a real hill, Fry. Shit. It's
No,
a mountain,
fucking
bitch.
it's an ant hill.
Way
It's an
more like a
anthill.
mountain.
Oh my!
Anyway.
First off, he did a lot of good things for us to actually enjoy one fucking shitty season in what would have been a terrible fucking year. So you
Who's
should.
better, Greg Ward
You should
or
thank
Miles
him.
Sanders?
Oh, Greg Ward, light years ahead, and it's not even close. More about what you do for me now, bitch.
Jay throwing the bait out there.
I'm really not. I'm really not taking it.
Yeah, you're damn right because you're fucking scared.
So did anybody else not get to talk about?
I have one more
Kenny,
thing
are
I
you
forgot to tell you.
Kenny? Are you?
No, I think.
Lose to Indiana.
Oh, dude, what the fuck? They almost beat Ohio State. This could be
Let me
Penn
tell you
State's
something.
year.
Let me tell you something.
This could be
right
Penn
now.
State's year.
Stop.
There are 3 lock, and you should take advantage of them.
Ohio State,
Michigan,
Nebraska.
and Nebraska. Those are the 3
Nebraska,
locks
sure.
of the weekend. I'm telling you right now. Stamp it. Everybody's
Dave-
down on Ohio State.
Dave-
Oh, they almost lost to Indiana. Everybody's down on Michigan. Look, they can't even. Thanks to Colorado, everybody's sucking fucking Deion's dick. Get the fuck out of here. TCU is not a real fucking football team. All of a
They
sudden,
were
we
in the
think they beat-
playoff. You can't
beat-
say that.
lost their whole fucking roster, dude.
Not my chair, not my problem.
That's Coach Prime to you, by the way, Dave.
Yeah, that's
Listen,
a transfer window thing.
yes. Just
They
like
lost their whole
everybody
roster.
doesn't like to call Mr. Rivers Doc, I will not call Dion Coach Prime. Okay. So that's my hill. I'm standing on that. I'm calling him Dion.
Wait till you see this documentary.
He's probably not gonna watch him. He hates him that much.
I'll never
Can't
watch.
stand him. All right. So everybody,
You guys are too young for the Dallas hate with Dion.
That's
we
not
lived
true,
through that
Gordo.
part. We lived through that part.
How old are you, Gordo?
Old, I'm probably the oldest one on this podcast.
52.
I mean,
Not
I
quite.
was old enough to see Dion Not only he was at other places before there. I was there. I could never hate Dion. I never got around to it.
I can. It's
Yeah,
not a
no,
hard thing for me.
I honestly
The
just
only
hate the way that he's doing it. To be honest, it's a bit like I see a promo for the game.
What,
it's
the
like-
right way? The
because-
right way?
No, it's not the right way. It's not the right
Why?
way.
Schwarber's going
When
on
you
right
see-
now.
when
God.
I
All
see
right,
a promo-
Dabo Sweeney.
when
Tell
I
me
see a
how
promo-
it's not the right way, Dabo.
When I see a promo for the game and
You
I
lost
see
to
a
Duke
player
yesterday.
from Nebraska and I see the representation on Colorado is a picture of fucking Deion Sanders, that's all I need to fucking know. He's all about
Oh, yeah,
him.
He's calling
It's all about him. They don't give a fuck.
Put me
They
on
don't
the
give a
shit.
fuck. They
Come
don't.
on.
They don't give a fuck
Come
about the
on.
players, man.
Well,
It's
who-
all about
Together a
Deion.
top
Before-
25 team.
That graphic.
Why is he calling
that-
himself Coach Prime? Why is he calling himself
Because
Coach
he
Prime?
is, Dave. He's Coach Prime.
Yeah, jeez.
He's got his own sunglasses on blenders, for Christ's sake.
The man's only got
Okay.
3 toes on his right foot. Give him a break.
He does all that with 3 toes?
Watch a documentary.
That's pretty impressive.
He does do it the right way.
I'll watch
He's the
it,
man.
Jay, and I'll give him a fair shake. I will. I watched that documentary, and I completely changed my opinion on Kirk Cousins. I used to think Kirk Cousins was the biggest
I fucking
douchebag
love Kirk Cousins.
idiot. I fucking love Kirk Cousins after watching.
Yeah,
I
he's the
think
man.
he's still a douchebag. I watched the whole thing. I still fucking hate the guy.
That's fair. That's fine. That's fine.
He's harmless. He
So
can't do
you
anything
so
in the
you
playoffs.
you don't like that. I got it. So let's move on to the schedule.
Dave, I have one quick question for you.
Go ahead.
Did you invite Joe Giglio to this or not?
He declined the offer.
Fucker.
That
Fucking
guy.
asshole.
Yeah, that fucking guy.
Don't talk about Dave's boy like that.
I think it was Mike. Was
I
it
don't know
you
who I
that was
see you
talking
argue
to?
with more? Cowboys fans or Joe Giglio? I can't decide who you argue with.
I fucking. It's either him or Jeff Passan.
Yeah, he's another one. Yeah.
Jeff's the man. I don't even understand. You hate him because he reports on the pitch clock, and he was the first one to be like, "I like the pitch clock." So now you just hate the fucking guy. It's the craziest hate of all time. It's like
It's, such
It's like
he's such an
hating-
old man with a pitch clock. It's ridiculous.
I don't know how people
Oh,
Dave,
the
I'm calling you out,
clock.
still talking about the pitch clock
Why,
in
why
September.
do they need to wear helmets?
yeah. Football was better when they had leather on their heads. Fucking geezer.
Listen,
No kids
that's
with
fine.
Rap music.
The first time there's a stupid strike infraction in the playoffs and it comes against the Phillies, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to fucking hear it from any of you motherfuckers.
Oh.
You hear me
about
say
it.
you should have fucking thrown it faster. You'll hear me say
The story. I don't want this to happen, but Game 7 of the World Series, bottom 9 out. If that happened, final out. Oh man!
Listen, there's like no
Baseball
time.
would burn.
There's no time to set the drama, and you guys know what I'm talking about, especially in the playoffs. Like, go back and look at that Bryce Harper at bat when he hit that homer. There
Cried.
was breath in there. There's like it's about. I'm not even talking about the regular season. The pitch clock. I'm not 100% against the pitch clock. I think the pitch clock. I think the pitch clock should be extended in the late innings, especially in the postseason. That's all. I think that the pace of the game is actually. I think that it feels okay, for the most part, but when it's the 8th inning and it's a high leverage situation and Alvarado has first and third, and he just threw a pitch at 99 and he's got to turn around and do it again in 18 seconds, like I kind of feel like I need some more time. That's all. I've come
Deuce
around.
First and second with nobody out and didn't score.
Yeah, Deuce.
Hot take. I hate Alvarado.
Oh,
Hot take.
Oh my God! We weren't even gonna go here. We were gonna talk about the Eagles schedule,
know.
but Michael, you just fucked me up on that one.
I
Castellanos.
feel like every
double plays.
time he pitches, it's like he makes it dramatic for no reason.
that is
Like just fucking
spicy meatball.
get 3 outs.
Listen, I agree that he struggles to find the zone at times. However, I also think that he can be one of the best high leverage guys on our team, even better than Kimbrel.
Kimbrel also has lost it.
Yeah,
in,
he
like,
doesn't.
the last few
What's up
weeks.
with that?
Kimbrel's old, man.
I
Yeah.
know. Alvarado is just like a fucking drama queen and makes it just get 3 outs.
I don't
Fucking
think.
do
Yeah,
it.
but you're making it sound like he walks the guys because he wants the drama, though. I don't think he's doing that.
Fucking prove that he doesn't.
Oh my god. I love that. Now back to our regularly scheduled program. I was
Sorry.
I,
Had to throw that in there.
sidetracked this. I sidetracked this with the Phillies and the pitch clock and Jeff Passan. I knew what was going to happen when I said Jeff Passan. I fucking knew. Okay, I'll take the heat on that one. So let's dive into the schedule. All right. You know, we put our cards on the table. Kenny says they're going to go 18-0, and you know we talk about successful season is, and you know. I will start with this. Let's just do this. Let's take it, like I said, the first 9 games. And I want to hear kind of like just glance over it. Everybody tell me your record in the first 9 games and tell me like your quick rundown of the first 9, where the wins are, where the losses are. And then, you know, we'll kind of talk about it as it goes. Gordy, you can start. First 9 games.
First 9 games through week 9, which week 9 is Dallas. All right, I got them with 1, 2 losses, so 7-2.
Okay, and who are the 2
To
losses?
start. My 2 losses. You're not gonna like this, but I got them as the Vikes and the Dolphins.
Well, that's impossible because the Vikings have
Never
zero.
beat the Birds.
They
Yeah.
never beat them. I love it.
I don't know. I don't know. I just kind of figure at some point, like, they have to. I don't know.
All right, so
Vikes
let's
are
do
always
that.
one of
So-
those capable teams, but they never put it together. So I got
You're
them 7-2
7 and-
going into the bye.
Okay.
Mhm.
Sparrow, where are you at?
First 9.
I am 6-3.
All right, and who the
I
else?
have them losing to the Jets, the Dolphins, and Washington. I haven't dropped them 3 in a row.
Ooh.
Woo!
5-0
You got a little,
and 3
got a little slide there. Okay,
3 L's. Then they beat Dallas at home.
okay. So 6-3 at the bye, a little slide in the middle, end up 6-3 going into the bye. All right, Mike, first 9.
I have them 7-2, losing to the Jets and Washington.
Jets and Washington. So you got them rolling through the Vikings and Tampa Bay. So wait, which Washington?
I have
Mike?
them away, so in Washington.
So you have them 6-1 going into that game.
What? No.
You have them.
So, yeah. 6-1 going into
And winning
Winning
the
home-
home Dallas game.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. 7-2. Jay, where are you at?
Yeah. So the problem is I split them up like I think they're going to split with Dallas. I think they're going to have 1 loss between the Commanders and Giants. But if you want numbers from me, I'll say going into the bye. Yeah, I think 7-2 is right. Whether it's Washington or Dallas there at the end. Washington on week 4 or potentially week 2. So if you really want to tamp me down, I'll go loss to Minnesota and I'll go loss to Dallas.
Lost to Minnesota, lost to Dallas. Okay, so you got them ripping off like 6 in a row there before the Dallas
yeah.
game.
Yep.
Okay. Kenny, first 9.
9-0, baby. I'm
I'm not gonna
serious.
let you say 9-0 because I know you're not serious.
No, I really do. I mean, it's not impossible, but I do think they're going to come out a little rusty and lose to the Patriots week 1. So I have them at 7-2, and the other loss is going to be the Cowboys.
Okay, so you have them 7-2, losing to the Patriots week 1.
I'm just
And
worried about Bill
Cowboys.
Belichick.
I wouldn't be surprised about that, Kenny. If they lost week 1.
I
Yeah, right,
wouldn't
like-
either.
No preseason action. I know people believe that. I don't even know what to believe anymore. Ever since they took the fourth one away, it. You remember what it was? It was like no one played on the first one. They played a little on the second one. They played a half of the third, and no one played the fourth. And now I don't even know how they can do it to make it make sense.
They
Well,
don't.
the only thing you have to compare is last year, and you could say they came out flat against the Lions, but the Lions turned out to be a pretty good football team. So, like,
Yeah,
you don't really
That's a good
know.
point.
you
I
don't
do
think the
think that game-
Patriots?
That Patriots game is going to be very tough. It's going to be a close
Yeah,
game.
I think it will be. And you don't think that the Patriots are the same level as the Lions right now?
No,
You think Lions are like light years ahead of them?
it's not light years, but then you add the Tom Brady factor. I'm not saying it's going to be an easy game. I just think they pull it
Yeah,
out.
no, I
at the end
know.
of the day.
I'm just saying. I think the Patriots are closer to the Lions than
What's that
you
line?
know.
Like 3.5.
3, yeah.
4. Yeah, it's 4.
4, which is a scary.
I could see it. I mean, I mentioned that I think last week, Kenny. I think that I said that I thought that they might be able to lose that game. I mean, I wouldn't shock me if they lost.
Yeah.
What would shock me is if they lost that and then they lost the Vikings game. That'd be a problem.
0-2.
They're due.
0-2.
They're due. They're due to lose to the Vikings. Let's be real.
They're
Oh, and
never
do you
due to
imagine
lose to the
0-2?
Vikings.
Can you imagine sports radio in Philly if they start 0-2?
And if Phil's drop like 6,
Oh my god, dude. Jesus. Julio would
All
be in his fucking glory.
So, all right. So, listen, I have them 6-3 after the first 9, and I think the losses. Are the Vikings, the Jets, and the Cowboys. And the reason I have reasons for them. I think that the Vikings are due. It's a Thursday night football game. It's a primetime game. I think.
Go Birds!
I think the Vikings are due to give the Birds a little something. Will they? I don't know. But in week 5 they go to LA. They have to play the Rams on the road. Then they got to come back and they got to play the Jets in is whatever. I don't really know how much home field advantage they actually have, but the Jets seem like they have something going up there. Are they going to win a Super Bowl? No, I don't think so. But they're not going to be shit.
Holy shit.
Did you see that?
That was disgusting. I take back every bad thing I've said about Sosa in the field. I'm not sure
mean,
Turner makes this
I
play.
mean, that was okay. It wasn't that good.
What?
It wasn't that good.
What?
You just
It
stopped
looked
the
more- it
podcast
looked
for
more
that.
impressive on the first read. Not gonna lie.
You stopped the
Replays.
podcast. Stop
Yeah.
the podcast on that play. That was a routine fucking shortstop play.
A routine. Oh, okay. Fucking Captain Dumbo. Routine?
And I think they lose to the Cowboys after. And also, by the way, Jay, I think they actually sweep the Redskins this year.
Yeah, I could buy that. Counted it was 1 loss in their 4 games versus the Giants and the Redskins. Or shit. You know what I mean.
I do.
Did you say the R word?
I might have actually. I don't even know.
Yeah, you
I
baited
mean,
me, you son of a bitch.
I may
Ooh,
have
I'm
said-
telling Lily.
Don't
I'm
tell
telling
Lily.
Lily.
Hold on a second. I'm pretty sure I said Washington.
Well, then it's
Yeah.
just on me, buddy.
You son of a bitch.
All right, so we have a couple 7-2s and some 6-3s. Now, who went first? Because we should go in the same order. So whoever
I
went
went
first.
Wait, I want to say something.
Okay, go ahead.
So it seems to me that everyone on this expert panel believes they're going to lose one of the first 2 games.
Yeah.
No.
Sounds like it.
Well,
No,
no.
somebody
Yeah,
else.
sounds like
Somebody
yes.
had somebody. Somebody
Joe-
didn't have
Joe-
losing one of the first 2.
Joe Sparrow did not.
Yeah, there
So
you
He's a
4 out of
trash.
5, though?
No, they went 5-0, and then they dropped 3 to the Jets, Dolphins, and at Washington.
Yeah. I'm just saying 4 out of 5 of this group, and I feel like it would be a large sample. You know, you could do it to strangers. They're going to look sluggish coming out, man. I'm worried about that. Not like ring the alarm worried about it, but and the Super Bowl hangover is a real thing.
All right, Gordy. So give me the next So I'm calling this the gauntlet. This is weeks
The gauntlet?
11 through 15. So this is Kansas City through Seattle. Kansas City through Seattle. What do we got?
All right. So
By
I'm
the
just gonna
way,
go-
real quick. Kansas City and the Eagles are both coming off the bye there.
right, which is an interesting little thing to throw in there because we know how good Reed is off the bye, right? I'll go week by week if you guys are good with that. I coming out of the bye, I go loss, win, 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 win,
Wait.
loss, because they sit everybody.
Wait, hold on, stop. Just go to 15. So
Just
you
go to
had
15. I'm sorry.
yes,
Yeah,
11
okay.
to 15. Okay, do it again.
I go lost to KC, lost to Buffalo, win San Fran, and easily win at Dallas, win at Seattle. And I know that's a tough trip to make, but yeah, I think they do.
Okay. All right, I like it. All right, who's next?
I was ready to finish it out right there. Shit.
I know, I heard you. You're Who was next? Was it Mike? Were you next?
Sure. I have lost to KC, lose to the Bills, win San Fran, lose Dallas, win Seahawks.
All right, so you got them 2 and 3 in that stretch.
Yeah.
Sparrow.
I got them 3 and 2. I have them losing to Buffalo Buffalo and at Dallas.
3 and 2. Buffalo and Dallas. Jay, what about you?
I think they would get revenge at Kansas City. I think they spank San Fran, and I think they eke one out in Seattle.
Yeah, I have a loss to Kansas City. I just can't get over the bye thing with Andy and going there. And yeah, I mean, I like to think that they're going to overcome that, but I don't know. I got a loss versus Buffalo. I already told you they're going to spank the shit out of the 49ers. I took my Dallas loss on the split before the bye week, so I'll take the win at Dallas here. And then there is not a team in the NFL that feels like we're more snake bitten against than the Seattle Seahawks, especially in Seattle. And so I'll take a loss there too.
All right. So what is that? What was that? 2 and 3?
2 and 3.
Okay. Kenny, what about you? Weeks 11 through starting at the Chiefs.
I really honestly have it at 4 and 1, and I know you're gonna be like, "I'm not gonna let you have it," but I do. I think they lose to Kansas City. I think they
then they
barely
beat
beat
everybody else.
Buffalo. Yeah, I think they're gonna blow out the Niners. Cowboys is gonna be good. That could be the altar, and I just don't think Seattle can. I think just like you were saying that the Vikings are due, I think the Eagles are due against them.
Yeah. That's
Okay.
good.
So I really do see 4 and 1 there. I know that's fucking crazy, and I'm not thrilled saying it, but that's how I feel.
All right. Just so I'm trying to keep track. You're saying 4 and 1. That means that you're at 11 and 3.
Yep.
Okay. So I see this stretch going 3 and 2. And I don't think that they're going to beat Kansas City, mostly because of Andy Reid. But I just don't see them winning that game. I think they beat Buffalo. I think they beat San Francisco. And I think that they beat Dallas. But I think that the Seahawks game is a letdown game because of that Dallas game. Big road win. I could see week 15 being an easy letdown, especially if they win that road Cowboys game. So 3 and 2 for me. So I'm at 9 and 5 after 15 weeks. All right, let's round it out. So Gordy, we start with you. Last 3 games, and then give me the last 3 games and the total, your season total prediction.
Giants, Cards, Giants. I got win, and loss because I think they will probably be sitting just about everybody. They finished 12-5, and they win the
Okay.
NFC East.
12-5, and that gets them a dub in the division. Okay.
Correct. And hopefully,
right.
hopefully home field. Now, if they might play everybody that last game and end up 13-4 if they need home field there. But
So let
we'll
me
see what
ask you
happens with
something. If that in that scenario, the 13-4 scenario, do you have them sweeping the Giants?
oh Christ, yeah. I mean, dude, I got to be honest with you. The Giants scare me about as much as my nephew's 8th grade football team does. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like
terrible take.
I actually think the Giants are
it's a pretty
scarier.
good
I
take.
think the Giants are scarier than the Cowboys and the Redskins, and the Commanders.
I agree.
Keep saying Washington.
I got them number 1.
Yeah, I think the Giants are the most scary team in the division, other than the Eagles. But
They
we'll
might be the best coached other than the Eagles.
all right, Michael. 3 games and your season total.
I have them going 3-0, so 12-5.
3-0 for 12-5. Okay. Do you have a prediction? Do you think, dude, Tatis just hit a fucking bomb. It was in the upper fucking deck like it was a fucking bomb.
There's one
A
yesterday.
solo
was a
shot.
rocket too.
You stopped the
Yeah.
podcast for that? You stopped the podcast
It's
for that?
It was actually a good play.
Yeah, I can't
It wasn't just
believe.
it wasn't just Sosa ranging to his right and making a fucking simple jump.
The Phillies made a special tweet for it, so obviously they agree with me. And
Mike,
you
you
and
think
in
they
the
win?
alley can suck each other off.
Mike, do you think they win the division or no?
Yes.
Win the division. Okay. Sparrow total.
3-0, 12-5. They need to play everybody the last game for either the division and or home field throughout.
3-0, 12, possibly winning the division in New York. I can see that. At 12-5. All right, Jay. Last 3 and total.
That's 3 wins, which puts them at 12-5. I'm basically going to say what Joe said. That's 3 wins at 12-5. I think they are going to have to play their players for that last Giants game. I think they do win that last Giants game. Unfortunately, I don't think it's enough to win the division. I think the Cowboys win the division, and then I think we go to Dallas and beat them in the playoffs.
I love that. I love this scenario though. I love that. All right, Kenny, last 3 and total.
1 and 2, 12-5.
1 and 2.
Yep.
So you got them
By
getting
Giants?
swept by the Giants?
I did. Well, I don't know. I mean, if anything, I can see them fucking dudding up against the fucking Cardinals. Wouldn't surprise me
No way.
in any. No, that's a guaranteed win. I do think
Win the
the
game by
Giants are going to
400.
be a major problem, and I think they might sweep us.
Wow. And what was your total? 12-5?
Yeah.
So you've actually calmed down a little bit. You gave yourself some time and you live with the 14 wins.
No, but I really want it.
All right.
Uh,
Kenny, do you think they win a division?
I don't think they win the division.
You guys
wanna
really
guess
think
who?
another team is going to get 13 wins in that division or 12?
No.
with the tiebreaker.
No, I think it's going to
Tiebreaker.
be a tiebreaker.
yeah. If anything.
Conference tiebreaker.
The problem
because
is you're
you
going to
think they're gonna
take
split.
L's. You're going to take L's in the conference because of your schedule. So
True.
Where though, Jay?
well, we have to go back through my schedule. Yeah, I guess
Well,
I mean
because-
I
well, no,
have in
because-
case.
Because let's just talk it through, right? Because they're not. We have them beating San Fran. We have them maybe losing to Seattle, and maybe losing to Minnesota.
Yeah. So you're Minnesota. Although Seattle's the division that we have to play, so it's not that. It's the Minnesota game. It becomes pretty important there.
I don't. That's why I have them
So-
winning the division because they win the tiebreaker. I don't know. I know Minnesota's do, but their defense just stinks. And it's a primetime game, and Kirk Cousins. If there's any extra importance put on the game or pressure, I don't
Yeah.
know.
Don't talk about Fry's new boy.
Listen, the thing that with the Vikes specifically for me, there is the whole like they could be due thing, but also you have those new coordinators, and I just can't see the Birds not having some hiccups early on. You know what I mean? Like they're going to struggle a little bit more than we'd like to see them struggle at New England, because one thing New England has is that coaching consistency. We know that, you know, and I think you could end up with the same type of deal where the Birds just get in their own way a little bit against Minnesota week 2. But the Birds should win that game. They should.
So
Last 3 games,
I
I
have
have
them
them.
going 2-1. And I
I think that
game
game
at the end of the season decides.
the NFC East.
I think they lose, and I think it loses
loses them the division.
little extra spark to go into the playoffs and just make some fucking noise. I just don't think. I think that the
Division.
Giants are gonna Giants.
Giants win the division.
I think they will, and I think I'm gonna bet it too, because I could probably get good money on it. I think the Giants
I don't know, man.
for some reason. Their schedule is not that hard. They're catching some more difficult games in the earlier in the season, which I think is a good time for them to catch them. And I think, I don't know. I was looking at the Giants' schedule, and I think that the way that their schedule plays versus the Eagles, obviously they have a really tough matchup week 1. They play Dallas week 1. That's a tough matchup.
I think they win that game.
They could. They have Arizona early. They have Seattle pretty early. San Francisco. Now, will they beat San Francisco? I don't know. I don't even know what they are, man. Brock
They
Purdy,
go
like,
at Miami,
are we seriously talking
Buffalo.
about who?
the Giants back to back at Miami, at Buffalo, Washington Jets at home, at Vegas, at Dallas, at Washington. And they're still not at their bye yet.
Yeah, they have a late bye.
Yeah, they do.
I just think that they have some. I think that they have some. I don't know what it is about that team. I don't know what it
Their coach.
is. It might be that. It might. It might be that. And
in all honesty, especially against the Eagles. I mean, Darren Waller could be a problem, a big problem.
that's Kenny's boy.
I love him.
Kenny very high
Just-
on Darren Waller.
Still giving out the fantasy football information.
Well, we got Dave going.
All right.
Miles
keep
Sanders.
keep
Quez
baiting
Watkins
him. He'll
back.
keep going. How do you feel about Trevor Lawrence?
What the fuck, dude?
Not good.
Did you guys see that Phillies play that just happened? They threw the ball away at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was atrocious.
Good for that.
Was that work?
I have the Eagles going 11-6 and losing the division to the Giants. So let's talk about one more thing, and the last thing. And what do you guys feel like you need season to be a success? Basically, how deep do they need to go? And you could even take whatever. I don't care. Let's just run it in the same success or failure. What's the bar?
Success for me would be continuing to see Jalen Hurts sustain the level that he reached. And I do think he steps back just a teeny tiny bit, but I want to see him be able to step up and keep doing what he's doing. And I want them to win the division and go in as one of the top 2 teams. They should in the NFC. Like they should be first or second seed going into the playoffs. in my personal opinion. The roster is loaded. The Birds are loaded, dude. Like these other teams, they're good. They've got some nice players. They're not loaded. The Eagles are loaded. So
the problem is
to me,
to be 1 or 2, you got to win the division.
you do. You more than likely, yeah. You're definitely going to have to win.
No,
the division.
definitely.
So yeah, definitely. So they're going to have to get that. That for me would be a success. Win a division, be 1 or 2, and Hurts stays pretty much at that level. So we know what we have moving forward with him.
I guess like the more that I hear you guys talk about it, the more I could see last game
against the Giants.
So like Jay, you mentioned that you think the Cowboys are going to take the division. Do you think that the Giants are
I think they're a good football team. The problem is they're fighting against talent. I don't know what they think they're doing with Jones. He's not really the kind of he's not the quarterback you want to like make your franchise quarterback, which is evident. They didn't sign him to a franchise deal really. But yeah, I just think they're a little lack on talent. And if they didn't lack on talent, I really like that coaching staff. I think they have the GM house starting to get in order. So like, I won't write off the Giants in the future. I just don't think they're there yet.
Gotcha.
As far as playoffs, did you say that?
First or second seed. I want to just see him be first, second seed. You mean how far do I want to see him go?
Yeah.
I want to see him in the NFC Championship game at least. I would love that.
Okay.
I think if they do that, then we can start looking back at our quote unquote golden years and like maybe we have a little mini franchise starting back up again here.
So do you think that if they don't make the NFC Championship game, that it's a
dynasty,
bust? Is it a bust season?
It's not a bust, but it would be a step back. And you don't want to see that for a team that just paid a quarterback that kind of money and now has to rely on young guys with low contracts. You know what I mean? You want to see them be able to sustain that. Look at what Kansas City's doing. They pay Mahomes. All these young guys come in. They stay right where they fucking are. That's what the Birds need to do.
All right, Mike.
Yeah, I'm in agreement. Definitely clinch the NFC East. And yeah, I need to see them in the NFC Championship game. I don't think I'd say the season's a failure if they don't get there. But I think I need to see them in there at this point for pretty much all the reasons Gordy listed. Especially the money with Hurts. That's a big thing for me. I need to see him have another season like he did last year after getting paid.
All right, Sparrow.
I pretty much agree. I don't need the division. I would like them in the championship game for sure. In terms of it being a bust, to me, I don't want to say not making the playoffs. I'm teetering between a playoff win, not getting a playoff win, I guess would be disappointing, and not making the playoffs at all be a bust. I'm trying not to. I think the health thing is going to be a huge hurdle this year, just based on history. So I want to put it's a bust if they don't make it to the championship game because I honestly don't know who's going to be playing come playoff time.
Yeah,
I could be wrong. If they go in there fully healthy, they better make it to the championship game.
I kind of feel like you do. I think.
You're really competing when it comes down to it. In my opinion, you're competing with the Cowboys and the Niners. In terms of them, if you're not going to be the top 2 seed, you gotta beat one of them at least to get to the championship game. And if you lose to the other, whatever. And then even if somebody crazy, people are high on the Saints, people are high on Detroit. which people may be correct, but I still think are on paper they're better than both of those teams. So I think they get their championship game again. I think it's a success, and everything else after that's just house money.
Cake. Jay, how about you?
I'll go a little harder. I basically agree with Joe. I would say not getting a playoff win is a bust.
I can see that for sure.
So yeah, so I'll draw a harder line there as far as how far they're allowed to slide back. We talked about they're gonna take a step back. Whether that's the problem is it's a little bit of a slippery slope here. You take a step back during the season, and that means maybe you don't win the division. And if maybe you don't win the division, then maybe you got to away playoff games to win. And all of a sudden, it's real easy to see them not be able to pull off, 2 or 3 away playoff games to get to where we think they should be. So yeah, I think you can expect even at being a wild card team and playing away for the first playoff game, I expect them to win that game, and I don't frankly give a fuck who it's against. When we start talking about how many away playoff games can they rattle off in a row, at that point it's like, they were going to regress a little bit, and if it means they lose in the divisional round or they lose the championship game, I'm willing to chalk that up for this year. I expect that having the draft picks that they took this year and a pretty strong draft in the coming year, that next year is when the roster's really back up to full strength, and we can sit here and start talking about they better fucking take it all the way.
Yeah.
Cool. Kenny, you still with us?
Yeah.
What's your bar, buddy?
The bowl.
I don't know. I think they got to get to the conference championship, but I think that's where the bus will stop this year, is the conference championship. And I agree with Jay. I just don't think this roster, not that they're not talented or anyway, but I just don't think it's this year. They need one more year.
So I have questions for you too regarding that. What about this roster has changed to the point where you feel like they need another year?
I think it's more of like things in the way of getting there, right? Not 100% that roster per se, but like new offensive coordinators, schedule, injuries, the list can go on and on and on. So I think there's too many factors stacked up against you. And in the last 17 years, there's not been a Super Bowl loser quarterback back. So at all, so they got some history to beat in order to get back there. And I think you need a year for the dust to settle.
Yeah, you have an offensive coordinator issue that I talked about already. I think you have issues at linebacker and safety. And beyond that, I think Desai is going to be a better coach than Gannon. The problem is that Gannon had a very talented defense and did like minimal shit with it. So he could be a better coach and have not as good of a defense when you got holes at linebacker, you got holes at safety. I don't think they have an issue in the defensive front. I don't really think they have an issue at corner. But I do see that, up the middle is weaker, and, you got enough, you have a hole at offensive coordinator. You start putting stuff together like that, that's a big part of the deal.
Yeah, I was curious to see what your guys' reasons were too, because I agree. I mean, I don't see them sniffing the Super Bowl this year, to be honest. I think my bar is for them to win a playoff game. If they don't win a playoff game, I'm disappointed. That's a fail season to me if they don't win a playoff game. The division, when's the last time a team won the division back-to-back years too? Like that's another
2004.
historical, right? Exactly. So that's another historic,
Too many hurdles.
hurdle for them to get over. The division hurdle, they got to get back to the Super Bowl, losing quarterback, blah blah blah. I don't think it's in the cards. I really don't. So I think they need to win a playoff game and then maybe surprise us. Who knows? If you never know. Like if you get to the championship game, The problem is the bye. If they can earn the bye, then only having to win one playoff game is actually not a crazy feat, right? But getting the bye,
Tough.
I don't know.
I will
And with
say
the
one more thing
improvement
here.
in the division. Good.
There is an X factor.
Tell me
Your
more,
quarterback-
tell me more.
Your quarterback could be the best quarterback in the NFL, all said and done. And if that guy continues to improve and he's got the heart that we think he has, then like I'm not gonna say that Michael Jordan's not winning the fucking championship.
I can go with
Listen,
that.
that's fair too. I mean, Jalen Hurts is an X factor. He is. He's a game changer. Is he a game changer to the level of Mahomes? Maybe.
You can get there.
I think
He's got the
when you
ingredients
look at
to
his
get there.
play,
Jordan too, by the way. So
yeah, no, I saw that.
yeah.
When you look at his play, maybe not. When you look at his heart, I don't think there's a question. And if you, I mean, this guy's in his second real year last year, and he maybe outplayed Mahomes. He certainly wasn't playing against Gannon's dookie ass defense.
No, it's fair. I mean, to be fair to Mahomes, I mean, Mahomes was injured in that game, and
Oh yeah.
you know,
No, I think
well, there's
it's
no
freaky.
question.
This
Jordan,
isn't a
I hate it.
Look at you giving credit to Mahomes, Dave.
Yeah, I know. It is what it is. This is not like a hate Mahomes thing. It's a stop sucking his dick thing. Even in the documentary,
Passes.
even when he talks about like the sidearm throws and shit, he's like, I just think of him as baseball throws, because that's the way I look at it too. When I see him throw the ball, I'm like, okay, he's fucking just throwing sidearm. But these dudes are like Chris Collins, it's like sucking his dick on Sunday Night Football because he threw a fucking sidearm pass. I don't get it. Whatever, it's fine.
You know, Dave, the night I met you, I was like, you know what? This guy's got a lot in common with Patrick Mahomes, is what I thought when I met you.
Well, I mean, obviously, when you look at me, you just look. All you have to do is.
I know he thinks about football that way. You know,
All you have to do is look at the 40
Sometimes you
time,
got
and then that's all. You just see the 40 times, and it's lights out. All right, guys, listen. I think we have beaten the Eagles to death. That we all agree that we're looking for a pretty decent, anywhere between 11 to 13 wins, and some playoff success. Jalen Hurts continues to fucking show that he belongs in the elite category of quarterback, and let's see what happens. That's kind of what I heard tonight. So I don't know. I think that I agree, and I think that
Let's get these kids
I'm
on
looking-
defense.
yeah,
These-
exactly.
A full season, some playoff time, and then let's see what we got.
see where it goes. So listen, all of you guys on this podcast right now are all in the fantasy football league. We'll draft tomorrow night, and of course we will talk about this fantasy football league all year. There are a couple Twitter bros on the in the fantasy football league also. So we got some extras in there.
We
which is
couldn't
really
get
cool,
in the
man.
alley to agree to come on.
What about Ernie?
No, Ernie, there's a special place in fucking hell for Ernie. All right, that fucking guy.
Kenny, who
This
is
is
dude?
This is Dak's season. I saw a butterfly land on my head, and I know that Dak loves butterflies. This is their season.
Kenny, who's
Fuck
the dude?
you
ever
guy.
thought that maybe he's
Think they're
just
telling you to watch
trolling
your
you?
mouth? Who was that dude?
That's the alley in the alley.
That's-
That's the in the alley guy. Yeah.
That guy does not like me.
That was the funniest
Nothing-
interaction I've ever had. Tell Kenny to watch his mouth. Okay. Yeah, I'll tell
Yeah.
him.
What are you gonna do? Yeah, that was nuts. He won't talk to me anymore. He'll only
Yeah.
talk to my partner.
I thought he was gonna hit you with put some respect on my name. I thought he was gonna hit you with that next.
Yeah.
He was this close. Yeah.
Oh my god, that was so funny.
All right, guys, listen. Let's wrap this awesome doing this Eagles round table. We'll do this again, probably, I don't know, somewhere in the back end to do something and maybe to get hype for playoffs if it's a thing. You know, you never know. We could find
Do we have a
ourselves
Sixers
fucking with the Sixers round table.
Game by
Yeah,
game.
now I'm out. You guys can. I'm out.
Game by
Kenny
game.
We're gonna have
Kenny has vowed to not watch the Sixers.
They're
I'm out
Yeah,
too.
Yeah, here we go.
We're gonna have to summarize the fantasy football thing. So if we meet at playoff time, that'll be a good time.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. I like that. And we will publish loser because you're the biggest loser, and we will come up with some kind of prize for the winner. I have no idea what the fuck that's going to be, but it will be something. And you know,
Your
let's-
paycheck.
20% off of Manscaped using code Love and Pain.
Kenny's got it. It's definitely not my.
There you
paycheck.
go.
All right. So that being said, thank you guys for hanging. I appreciate it. It was awesome
Thanks for
as
having us, guys.
expected. Loved it.
Yes, sir.
Sparrow, welcome to the first time on the podcast. Thanks for coming in. And I can't believe it, but we made it all night with nobody getting kicked out of this room. So I won't have to edit the fucking podcast by manual. That's fucking great. Thank
Oh,
you.
I didn't do my weekly 9/11 was staged. 9/11 was staged. 9/11 was staged. It's not real.
9/11 was staged. Birds are fake. What else, Kenny? What
Mr.
else? You
Sky.
Oh,
doing?
Dave, now that you say that, before we go,
Stop
I'm driving home.
Kenny picked up the microphone. God
Yeah,
damn it.
I'm driving home from the shore on the turnpike, and y'all act like they couldn't fucking hide a camera and a bird. You see these fucking internet towers they got over there? It looks like they dipped it in gumballs and put pipe cleaners on them.
Kenny, do you know that whole thing is a joke? Are you aware
Yeah.
that the guy who started that is kidding?
For maybe you and the Commodores, it's a joke.
Oh,
Idiots.
God.
Skynet's real.
Love it.
Turn the key.
That's what
Okay.
I'm saying.
It's a good time, boys.
time.
It's a good time.
All right, I'm clicking
time.
stop. If you stay here, do not leave. But I'm gonna click stop. Goodbye.
Go Birds.
Go
Go
Birds.
Birds.